Okay, I pasted the Notion page on the chat. So if you want to review it, as we talked last week, we cover like all the description, what we need. We realized that currently the solution of Kiel Panagi and the solution of the host Roger that will be split in different phases will include the external indicators, like for example integrations with TradingView or integrations with third-party APIs. So what we are going to create here mostly will be the OHLCs and the indicators, technical indicators based on that OHLCs. One of the things that we realized is that probably the best solution for creating this OHLC will be creating a new component in Hummingbot, like is, for example, a new service that will be in charge of creating this OHLC object, and then this OHLC will have their own indicators there and can communicate to all the bots the signals that we want. So that was another proposal created by some devs on a meeting with Coin Alpha 2. So I would like to know, what do you think about this? If you want to have it in the source code, if you want to have it like an external component. The good thing of having this in a different service will be that it will be much more easy to improve, to make changes without introducing that directly into the source code, and the complexity will be much more. It will decrease the complexity a lot because we can create a new component. We are not going to have issues with the connections to the exchanges because with just one service we can create the OHLCs and we can also forward that signals to all the instances. So well, that's the proposal currently. I don't know if anyone has comments about this or have any opinions about how we should provide the OHLCs to the client. Okay. We are only 10 now in the call. Probably I can write that down and then you can comment about this. What do you think? Well, for the people that is joining now, we are discussing the indicators, how to include indicators in Hummingbot. There is a Notion link on the community chat there, in the community call chat. So if you want, you can review the Notion page with all the information about what we think of an indicator. The current proposal is to create a microservice that will be in charge of creating this OHLC object. So, well, there is no questions right now.
Yeah. Maybe, hey everyone, this is Michael. Sorry for being late. Thanks for Fede for starting the call. I think one objective I like to see for this indicators project is that it kind of like works kind of like alongside what we're doing with the orchestration project, which I think Nagi and Police Roger are about to commence after the proposal passed that. Because, for instance, if there is a service that's kind of creating these OLC, kind of like this data, I feel like then you have a bot that you can have like a strategy that is basically creating kind of like an indicator, basically. And I think using the orchestration framework that we're designing, you could kind of like basically create one bot that's creating indicators and another bot that's consuming those indicators, and that flow is being intermediated by some type of like broker mechanism. So I think that to me, I feel like it's because it'll be I think that having one requirement I could see is like adding to this list is that like this project, the indicators project and the orchestration project, figure out some way to like work together so that the indicators can also be used within the orchestration framework.
Yeah, I totally agree. Will be a very good advantage to start having these kind of services that won't because if not, all the responsibility will be inside of the bot. And in this case, having this microservice that creates the OHLC and only pass the messages using the system of Panagi will be a very good solution to start scaling Hummingbot. And probably if you have, for example, 50 instances of the bot, you will only have one OHLC. Arakel wants to join. If you want Carlito, accept him. Having just one microservice will be the one that process all the information of the OHLCs, creates all the indicators, and then that information will be forwarded to all the instances. So for me, it's a very good design to have this as a microservice.
Yeah.
Arakel, you want to talk?
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Well, my comment is regarding your last part of your comment about the microservices. I know that like WebSocket. So currently I'm developing my bots and I'm adapting them to Hummingbot, and I'm working in that way as the comment. With one WebSocket, I can share this information to other bots. And my question is, to get the OID, at the first moment, you can get the historical candles, but the next candle you will get it from the WebSocket. So I think that's the main part. How to start the service with the historical data, then update the indicator with the next candle from the WebSocket. So I think that's similar to the way that you comment.
Yes, excellent. Well, the solution that I was thinking about is not using the WebSocket channel of the OHLC, because I would like to construct a more advanced system that lets you not only have time-based bars, but you can have volume-based bars that are more useful if you want to make, like, for example, machine learning. And the way of constructing these OHLCs is using the traits. So if you are using the traits, you can construct any OHLC in any time frame that you want. So you only need the trace channel. You need to stream the WebSocket of the trace channel. And to construct the OHLC, the historical OHLC, you will need to collect the trace before and then build your OHLC. So the component has to be able to collect the historical information, create the OHLC, start streaming the trace, and building the new OHLCs. So that's
one of my questions. I was taking the last meeting and your presentation about how to work with bars from traits and not to use the OHLC. And my question is if you have a comparison strategy about how is the gain compare it to your proposal using some trade or from the normal OESLC.
Yes, for that, there is a book that I have. I can show you the link. There is Advances in Financial Machine Learning. There is a lot of studies about this because what they are looking at is the distribution of the returns. So if you check the distribution of the returns of volume-based or dollar-based bars, instead of using time-based bars, you will check that the distribution is a much more normal distribution. That is the thing that you want when you are making like statistics or predictions about the market. So, and also another thing that just to, instead of talking about statistics, more like talking about normal behavior of the market. Suppose that you are checking the OHLCs at the night, and there is no trading activity on the night, and a very low trade moves the price a lot. That the OHLC will say, hey, we have a lot of a high movement of the price. But if you check the volume will detect that price was moved with a few amount of tokens. So that's why these kind of bars are very, very powerful, because it lets you detect anomalies in the market instead of be based only on time. Obviously, this feature will let you create time, volume, and dollar. It will let you create all the kind of bars that you want. So using just the trades, because the way of constructing them is streaming the trades and put like a loop that will be, for example, if it's time-based, it will check the timestamp. When the timestamp meets, for example, 5 minutes, that is your candlestick, it will take the first trade, the low, the high, and the close trade of that candle and close that candle every 5 minutes. If it's volume, it will do the same, but instead of doing every 5 minutes, it will do it at every 100 bitcoins traded, for example, if your candle is 100 bitcoins. So you just have to use the same source of information that will be the trades, and you can construct all the trades that you want. I will paste the link of the book if you want to read it. It's very interesting. It's from
that's interesting to compare the same strategy with different sources of the information.
Yes. Yeah. And also before I was working in a hedge fund, when we were using a paid library that is called ML FinLab, and the guys were like replicating all the code that is provided in this book. The thing is, you have much more better results in terms of doing like machine learning models or prediction about the market by using volume instead of time. And one thing is like the price. If I move the price and it's without volume, it's like probably a fake move of the price. That's one of the things. If I move a lot the price without volume, seems like I'm manipulating a lot the market. So if you can detect that in the same candle, you can act on that. It will be much more better for your model or for your strategy. So I will paste the link of the book too, because it's a very good book. Advances in Financial. It's a very good book to read. The author is Marcos López de Prado, that is a professor in the Cornell University of in the part of the finance and machine learning. So it's very good. Also, in the Notion page, you have a link. I don't know if you entered there. You have a link on in the first part, that is verse-based, an explanation of the different kinds of candlesticks. You have a link of a Notion doc where there explains also the difference on the different kinds of bars. You can check the correlation, well, a lot of things. Well, I'm checking Carlito, the indicators is another feature that is provided by the like an integration in their solution, but probably it's better to, if you are going to make some logic with that indicator, to have this component and code that, and it's coded directly in Python. So you can code in Python directly whatever you want, and you don't need to rely on TradingView. So I think that probably we have to offer the two options for the devs.
The trading integration that's kind of why we're having Holy Roger and Nagi work together, because the Holy Roger is already built in a service that can integrate external signals from TradingView into a Hummingbot instance. So the orchestration project is intended to combine that along with the broker that Nagi has already built. But yeah, is an important aspect of doing that. And so I think this is a pretty foundational aspect as well. So before we move on, maybe are there any maybe maybe how much experience do you think a developer needs to start to work on indicators? Like, for instance, would they need a lot of experience with Hummingbot in terms of how it works, or they need like a Python experience to work on this project?
I think that the experience in Hummingbot is not needed here, because it will be like a different service. So that's one of the advantages of creating these kind of separate services and then feed the information via MQTT. But it will be good that they don't know how to code async functions, because all this code has to be async because probably you are going to subscribe to different WebSockets at the same time, and you have to process the different exchanges and different trading pairs at the same time. But it will be development like medium complexity. If a connector is high complexity, this will be medium, for example.
Oh, interesting. So essentially, how long would it take to build this? Is like a 1 month project, or like a 1 week?
I think that in 2 weeks is a good time to have it ready. 2 weeks is enough.
Interesting. Okay.
Just a follow-up question to that, and that 2 weeks sounds about right, I guess. Because I was going to ask what that would be. Like, you kind of mentioned WebSockets there, and I'm thinking if I want to do it just for DeFi protocols, and I can call to the contract directly, do I need to worry about WebSockets? Because, I guess also kind of to help answer the question is, my background of JavaScript web development, less than Python. We almost say I'm very inexperienced in Python, so I'm thinking maybe I can figure it out, but that's kind of where I'm coming from. So I guess just it's a good question. How long do you think it would take?
Okay, I think that it would be very good to also construct the OHLCs for the DeFi protocols regarding to the first part of what you mentioned. But
construct the what?
I think that it will be very good to also construct the OHLCs for DeFi protocols. But mainly in all the connectors has like centralized exchanges has the WebSocket channel, so you can build it in Python or JavaScript, whatever you want. But I think that based on the expertise of the community, it would be better to build that directly in Python, because it will be easy then to code logic, because we have the TA library and pandas to create any indicators very easy based on the OHLCs. So, and I think that if you have experience in JavaScript, it won't be so difficult, this project, to build in Python, because you just have to create a loop where you are receiving the messages and put a condition where the condition is met for your OHLC. So I think that you can learn it in Python very good. But I don't know if we have to use another external service to query the traits from the blockchain directly in Python, or would be that better to do in JavaScript? That's one of the things that I don't really know, which what will be better for that. But also we can start just including some centralized exchanges. Probably we can just start including the certified the exchanges, because we will need to stream the WebSocket channels of all the centralized exchanges and then construct the OHLCs. But then we can start increasing the quantity of exchanges or decentralized exchanges that we are supporting in these components.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess I'll think about the last part. So like, how I would essentially like stage that trade data, or if I could pull it from like an open source indexer or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we have to like review. Probably this shop. I don't know how we are going to manage this, or how we are going to create the HIP for this, but probably we can work in a team to solution ready. If anyone wants to contribute with this, I would like to be part of this solution too, because I like a lot these kind of projects. But probably we can create like a team to work on this. I don't know, 2 people or 3 people that wants to work on this project and create a repo and start working on this.
Yeah. I think if anyone's interested in working on this, please, let Fede know. I think Fede mentioned he wants to become part of this team as well. Yeah. Also, just to answer your question,
but we can move to the. I don't know if anyone has another question. Can you hear me?
What? Can you hear me?
Okay. No, my computer crashed. My Discord crashed in the computer. So okay. I think that we can move to the next topic. I don't know if anyone has another question about this.
No, yeah. Let's move on to the next topic. Can you guys hear me? Actually, I didn't switch my phone because my computer audio was not working. So I think the next one is probably the next topic is about the next steps after we have officially started the exchange certification program. So now we certified 9 exchanges. and we recently announced it last week. Instead is to work with these 9 exchanges to make sure that their connectors are working properly. So we'll be creating bounties for bugs related to the certified exchanges, and which will then allow the community to earn these bounties for creating that fix those bugs. And in addition, we're launching a new version of the website. We'll be taking over the existing Hummingbot.io website from CoinAlpha, and that will be the main website for as a foundation. So there won't be a Hummingbot.io and a Hummingbot.org. There will just be one Hummingbot.org website that covers everything Hummingbot. Part of that, we're going to create like a specific landing pages for each exchange that tell people how they can actually use Hummingbot on that exchange, what the benefits are for trading for them, and as well as for the foundation. And then finally, we'll be working with each of the exchange partners to kind of develop special promotions. For instance, trading competitions, special fee rebates that are for the Hummingbot community, and we'll have to find a place to manage that, possibly on site or in Discord, where we're able to see all the different promotions that are playing with exchanges. Overall, we still want to support new connectors and allow people to connect us to new exchanges in line. However, because of the way that our business model works, which is that we have fee share partnerships with the larger top exchanges, it benefits everyone to kind of give more volume on these larger exchanges because that gives us more sources to create bounties, push forward on improving the base, things like indicators, and basically be able to devote more resources to improving Hummingbot. So as a recap, on exchange certification, we'll make the changes, and so you should see the changes in GitHub, and in the documentation by the end of by the next release, which will be at the end of August. So the next topic, the next topic is about the bug process and the boundary board that we recently created. So currently, we're trying to improve the velocity of the number of bugs and the number of.
I'm hearing you a little bit like robotic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Unfortunately, there's something wrong with my audio right now.
Okay.
I can't really. Yeah. Okay. So if you guys can hear, just let me know. Well, saying about the bugs is that we recently introduced something called bounties board. That is basically a board that we've assessed and created bounties for. So the idea is that any developer can in order to kind of basically have their basically to say that they want to basically address this fix in it. So so basically, right now I think there's about 8 to 10 bugs on the bounties board. So that means that anyone can go and basically add a comment saying that they would like to fix the bug. Afterwards, after there's at least one more and then the foundation will basically pay an HBot bounty to the developer for fixing the bug. So the ones that this process is really designed to try to improve the quality of the Hummingbot code base, focused on kind of core components and bugs on certified exchanges. So this process is still kind of being worked on. So we're still kind of working on writing down the process used to assess bugs, assign them to different categories, assign them to different developers, and so forth. But it's something that really wants to really involve the community and as much as possible down the line. Because we're just starting, and currently, the foundation is one that's kind of taking ownership over both the assignment of developers as well as the review of the afterwards. This is something that eventually we want to try to kind of involve community developers as well. So that's really like the summary of where we're at right now in terms of the foundation processes. The overall goal is to try to have a more transparent, but also hopefully a pretty simple process that we can share with the community and have everyone in the community understand kind of how we are doing things at the foundation.
Okay, that's very good, Mike. Just one thing regarding to the exchange certification program. We have one question there. That was if that means that the no certification exchange will stop working with Hummingbot over time. Well, I answered in the chat, but maybe you can explain this a little bit more.
Oh yeah. So no, the ones that are not certified, those are basically dependent on the community developers who added support for those exchanges. So also, I would say the ones that are not certified, those might become certified later on if those exchanges partner with us. But the reason the certification program is that we're seeing and in order to maintain high quality, we have to kind of focus on a subset of those exchanges. So I think the process, that's why we introduced a voting cycle where the community can vote and for certification every 6 months, and in between they can also propose to add or remove from the certification set. The certification is the ones that we will essentially add bounties for and partner with. But we're also going to be running, we also run tests as well for all the community connectors as well in the code base. And we ensure that the developers who are adding those community connectors also, when they submit them, also are submitting, good quality working code. However, on an ongoing basis, if we're responsible for making sure every single exchange in the code base is working properly, then that dilutes the level of focus that we can provide for the top ones. And I think that based on how people are using Hummingbot, the larger exchanges are being used more than the smaller ones. So I think it also kind of helps us provide a better level of service to the majority of users. But
perfect. Regarding to the bugs process and the bounties board, would you like to explain, like, okay, suppose that I found a bug, how will be the process, or where I'll have to check if I have, I would like to know which are the bugs that are available to solve, where is the page, who is the person that I should contact if I want to solve a bug, like that process.
Yeah. Thanks for the prompt. Yeah, so the bug bounty process is really designed for the foundation to assess bugs, put them on the board, and then anyone can kind of like developers can then fix them. So the bug reporting process is still the same as before, and anyone can submit a bug report and create an open issue on GitHub. However, right now, at least right now, for an issue to get from the open issues board, from open issues in GitHub, for it to go onto the bounties board, is a decision that the foundation makes. We are going to publish running the bot strategies, something that's like a core process in Hummingbot, then that is something that is added to the board. And afterwards, and then so the sort of like the rules around all this is something that we're still drafting. So I know that people can't hear me properly. So I think the main thing is we're going to in the next 1 to 2 weeks.
Okay, just to clarify, because we can hear you properly, what I understand of what you were explaining is like, here in the foundation, we're going to assess the bugs, understand which are the most important bugs that we need to solve in our code base, and that are the bugs that will be in this bounty board. So for all the community that wants to solve and contribute with the source code, can start with those bugs, and those bugs probably will have a bounty associated. And also there is another way that an external person can find the solution of a bug, and also that will be posted in the bugs board too. So well, that's the process. We are trying to start working on it, start get this process very better. So yeah, there is a question that is from New Way. Is there a section in channels for bounties or bugs? No, we don't have that section. But what do you think? Because right now the way of checking which are the bugs is entering GitHub in the project. I will paste, or probably, I don't know, Carlito, if you can paste the link of the projects of GitHub, where is the bounty board. There you can find the bugs, but currently we don't have that channel. I don't know if that is a good practice, probably have that channel to clarify, okay, I am the one that wants to work in this bounty, or I don't know, that part. How do you think, community, that will be better in order to have more clarity or who is working on which issue? Right now, they have to contact which will be the person, the point person to contact for this, Mike. If suppose that I am a community dev and I want to solve the issue number 10, which is the person that I should contact? That's one of the questions. Probably you can answer in the chat. I don't know if it's Carlito or. Can you hear me, Mike? I think that you're showing again the chat. The question is, suppose that I am checking the bounty boards, which is the person that I should contact to do it, or probably the suggestion of New Way is good, just to have these channels, bounties, bugs in Discord, and the people can say there, hey, I want to work in this bug.
Yeah, that's right. I think the best way to do it, if you want to work on it, is to comment on these, and then afterwards we will, the foundation will sign the bug to developers who comment on the issue after a bounty is created. I know my sound isn't very good, so I'm actually going to drop off and let Fede take over the rest of the meeting. I'll try to fix my audio before next week.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes Discord is also good for this. I think that because recently we have a call and your connection was good. I don't know if it's a problem of Discord or we need Discord Nitro or I don't know. But well,
yeah,
we can. Okay, we can continue with the next topic, that is bot orchestration. For this topic, we have a good. I will paste the also. Let me paste here the Discord link. There is an open discussion here of the where is or can you help me? I will paste this in. Okay, Carlito already pasted. Well, this is the current the current forum thread of the bot orchestration of the phases that we talked on the last meeting. So the next step will be that Kial Panagi fills his section and presents the HIP to start working on it. So hopefully we have to vote on it. Hopefully this week that HIP will be ready. We can start voting on it against or in favor. Well, hopefully in 1 month we'll have that solution ready. That's the status of that HIP right now. So feel free to comment on that Discord forum, the Discord thread, put your opinion there. That was just like a mention about the status of the process. Now we have the Epoch 2, this topic that is the review DAO funding. There is also a thread, I don't know, Carlito, if you can post the thread in the chat too, about how we're going to review the PRs in the foundation, because the last Epoch we have a tech review DAO that was, there were 5 persons, I think, that were in charge of reviewing the PRs. Currently, in the foundation, we think that that person has to be selected by us, for example. In my opinion, that's why I commented in the forum thread. We cannot let that anyone review, any community member review a PR by itself, mainly for 2 reasons. One is that could be by intention people that can, for example, create a PR, damaging the source code, and tell a friend, hey, approve this PR, and just with that, the code will be merged in the code base, and we will have a lot of troubles because we have a crypto bot that is using money. So that's why I think that letting that review for any community member is not a good decision. And the second one is also that if suppose that I propose a change for a bounty, for example, I don't know, 1 million HBots, and I provide a solution that is not working as intended, but I want to merge it to get the bounty, I also can ask a friend to, hey, review this PR like it's working, and it will be merged. So that's our 2 reasons that I think that this person or this reviewer has to be part of an organization, like for example the Tech Review DAO that we have the last Epoch, but we have to change the way that we are managing that Tech Review DAO. Probably we will have to assign like in the foundation, hey, you have to review this one, you have to review this PR, and the rewards has to be based on the code review or the quantity of review that makes each of the participants. The feedback of the last epoch of the Tech Review DAO was that some members were working so much or reviewing much more PRs than another ones, and the payment was like the same for them. So that's one of the things that we want to prevent in this epoch. So right now, we don't have the Tech Review DAO. We don't have any solution based on that. The only ones that can review PRs now are Fausti and I. Probably this is not scalable, but for now we are going to focus only on review bugs, PRs of bugs, until we have this Tech Review DAO or this solution. Please comment on the Discord thread or put your opinion there. What do you think? How we should select these members? And also, which are the rules that you think that has to pass a PR to be merged? For example, if I am very good developer and I am reviewing the code, probably I can comment like a lot of things to improve the code quality, but sometimes if it's not like a core component or if it's just like a community connector and the connector is working, probably the code quality is not so necessary to merge that connector. So probably having some rules to define how we can merge a connector, when we can merge it, which are the rules to accept the code quality of that, will be good to have your opinion too. So, well, that are all the topics for today. Now it's time to Q&A. So if you want to ask any questions, it's the time now. You can write the question in the community call chat or join the stage. Well. Okay. I think that we don't have questions for today. Well, if we don't have questions, please, my only thing is please comment on those forum threads to get your opinion about these topics that are very important for the community. Is how we are going to work on the Epoch 2. So, well, I think that we can finish the meeting for today. We can join again next week.